Mm-hmm.
Hi, everyone. I want to thank you again for attending the Life Success Summit. This summit has been amazing so far, and I'm really, really excited about it. I'm so excited about our guest today, Miss Rosie. I want you to introduce yourself. Miss Rosie is such an amazing lady. I've had the pleasure of meeting her, and she's just a wonderful addition to this group and to this summit. And this summit is all about, again, having success strategies for every area of life. And we've had different strategies for different areas along the way. And today, this is literally special. This is a success story that is really amazing. And I can't wait for you to hear what Miss Rosie has to say. So, Rosie, if you could please introduce yourself.
My name is Rosie Norman-Neubauer. I am from Britain, and basically my story started in 2016 when I was able to find my roots. This might sound a bit strange for you because you might think, what does she mean by find her roots? But I was adopted as a baby, and at 9 months, I was taken into a perfectly good middle-sized family. And for many, many years, I had no idea who my birth parents were. And in 2016, the journey began.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. Um, Rosie, you yourself, you are an internationally published and best-selling author. Um,
Mhm.
what do you write about? And what is your motivation? I know that you were talking about finding your roots, but I just wanted to back up for a minute and talk about that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm in the middle at the moment of a trilogy. The first book has been published. I would like to take the opportunity of showing you. So this, oh, I'm not sure if you'll see it with my background. Probably not. Oh, never mind. Don't worry. It's called Finding Closure. So the first book that I started to write was a book that I never ever wanted to write. It was never a book that I intended to write. It happened. It happened because it happened that I was able to meet my mother, the mother that had brought me into the world. And it was an exciting time, of course, leading up to that. It made me very, very introspective into, what I had been going through, how had it affected my identity, how had it affected my sense of self-worth. And so the book goes back and forth. It goes back to the past, and then it comes back to the present. And it tells the story of a very exciting time leading up to actually meeting my mother for the first time.
Wow.
Uh, and so many people wanted to know what's happened, and
Mhm.
so on a trip, I was doing a seminar because I'm also a language trainer, and I was doing a seminar in another part of Germany, in Hamburg. I live in Germany, and on the way back, I had 4 hours on the train. And so I sat down and started to write. And it flowed, of course. And it brought up all the things that I had never looked into really before. I'd never looked into how identity is yeah, is connected
Mm.
to our roots, how we really, really need to know where we come from. And that's basically what I talk about, what I speak about. And that's, well, it's the journey of the book. And as I say, it's a trilogy. It will
Wow.
be, yeah.
Wow.
So wait for the next one as well. And it became an international bestseller. So I was very happy for other people to read this book and
Mhm.
to feel empowered and to feel that they are not alone in
Yes.
the
Yes.
queries and in the whole world of question marks.
Yes. Yes. And that's important. That's very important. Um, I'm happy that um, you're able to make everyone feel that way, that they're not alone in the situation.
Yeah, yeah.
So Rosie, back to what you were talking about before. You yourself, you're adopted. Can you share like the earliest memories of understanding that you were adopted?
Well, like many, many others, I was adopted as a baby. But my parents decided very cleverly, I have to say, to actually let me know about it. And so my first recollections of being adopted are from about the age of 4, but that is the cognitive age that we start to really remember things. My adoptive father told me that they'd always mentioned it. But it is so, so important for people to understand that if a child gets to teenager or even later and they find out by chance, they feel betrayed.
Mhm.
They feel betrayed. They feel
Wow.
that their adoptive parents have been dishonest with them, and that can be catastrophic.
Yes, yes. Wow. I'm glad you said that. Yeah, that I've seen that before actually. Yeah. So that wonderful that your parents did that. That's amazing. Um, so can you just share with us how knowing your roots, after you were adopted, can you just share with us a little bit about that?
I think growing up as an adoptive person, you are like a tree without roots. That means
Mm-hmm.
you can be, doesn't have to be for everybody, you can be very unstable. So
Mm-hmm.
you don't really know who you are. You don't really know where you come from. I was in a way lucky because I was a white person in a white family, but many, many children
Mm-hmm.
from Asia or Africa are adopted into a family that does not have the same skin color. And so, of course, they
Mm-hmm.
are all very, very often asking themselves about the culture, about where do I come from? What is my culture? Where do I, and how much is nature and how much is nurture? So this is when you actually find your roots, like I was able to, you suddenly feel very complete. You feel complete. And sometimes it works out well, sometimes it doesn't work out quite so well. But at least these question marks have been answered.
Yes, yes, yes. Wow, wow, that's powerful. Could you tell us, in your mind, like, um, and the connection between knowing your roots and feeling comfortable about who you are, like what that's like in your mind?
Yeah. Well, I see it as, if you like, I see it as cement. It's, beforehand, you're kind of wobbly and
Mm-hmm.
things can, when people ask you about yourself, about your family, you have a family, but you don't have these connections to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you feel a bit wobbly. And when you actually finally find your roots, it cements everything. It makes everything more comfortable, more secure. And I remember when I met my mother, it was very strange because I have three sisters and three half sisters. And so I met my mother, and suddenly I had these three half sisters. And my half sisters do not look anything like my mother, but I do. I look the spitting image of
Wow.
my mom at my age, which was very, very strange
Wow.
because I didn't I didn't think that was gonna happen, you know. It's a logical thing to happen, but I didn't think it would happen, you know. And so
Wow. Wow.
it was all the more powerful to see this woman who was 17 years older than I was, because she was 17 when she had me. She was 17 years older than I was, and yet when when I first got in touch with one of my sisters, and because I lost track of my mother, and she talked to my mother. She said, "Oh, I'll talk to her," you know. And she talked to her and she said, "Here is the website. Scroll down." And she said, "Who do you think that is?" And my mother looked at it and she said, "That is your daughter. That is the one that, you know, you didn't know where she was. You didn't know who, you know, what had become of her. That is your daughter." And my mother, my birth mother, she then asked her husband to come over and she said, "Who do you think that is?" And he took one look at the photo on my website and said, "Well, that's your daughter."
Wow. Wow. Because you look just like her.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Oh
she
my
hadn't
goodness.
seen me for 55 years.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's powerful. Mm-mm-mm. That's powerful.
Yeah.
So Rosie, for you, what does true identity mean, and how can you become more settled with your true identity, although you don't actually know your actual roots? Like, how can one actually become more settled with it?
Well, I think that if you don't know your roots, and
Mhm.
a lot of people don't, of course, then you have to, you know, you have to have a strategy to put that aside, to put these queries aside, to accept where you are. And the other thing is, of course, you have to accept that even if you do find your birth parent or parents, they may not be in a position to
That's
want to
that's
see
that.
you. They may not be in a
Wow.
position to accept you. They may have said, I gave you up, and you know, that was it." So I think it's
Wow.
important, and
Wow.
that's what we do in our program, is to help people to be very aware of what is possible and what might happen, so that they are not devastated if it doesn't work out.
Mm.
Because it is not
Wow. Wow.
legally, it is not our birthright to find our birth parents when we've been adopted.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I can't imagine someone that's trying to search for their birth parents and then find them, and then they are saying, "No, I don't want to meet you. No, I don't want to see you." That
This
has to be
actually
pretty
happened.
devastating.
Yeah. This actually happened to
Yeah.
my brother, who was adopted too. Not from my own,
Wow.
he's not blood related to me, but it actually happened to him, and his mother said it was a one-night stand and she didn't even know when he was born. Really, really hurtful. Really hurtful.
And she didn't want to have a relationship with him. Wow.
No, no, no.
Wow.
He was
Mm.
curious to see him, but that was it.
Wow.
With my mother, it was a totally different case. She still had the little bracelet that I had worn in the hospital with my name on it. She had still kept that for all those years. And she told
Wow.
everybody in her family that I might come knocking one day.
Wow. Wow. That's powerful. That's powerful. She had hope that she would see you again.
Mm.
Wow. That's beautiful. Um, Rosie, can you give some of the people watching just some insights into what it is that it means to be adopted? Like just some type of
Mhm.
insight so that they can understand.
Well, I think for anybody watching this who does not have anything to do with adoption and has not been adopted, um, I think the thing that really you need to understand is that there will be these questions. And if there are these questions, then it's natural. So I think adoptive parents need to understand that this is a primal, um, you know, it's a primal desire. And so it's nothing against them if a child does
Yeah.
want to find their real parents, or not real parents, but their birth parents. Yeah, their
Yes.
biological parents. And I think it's very
Mm-hmm.
important for the parents to understand that it's not anything against them. And I would urge all adoptive parents to say as well, I will help you. This is what my father did. He said, I will help you. I will stand by you, because it is your right to find out if you can. But it
Wow.
means that you can grow together with your family even more if there is this support.
Wow.
And I think that
Wow.
this is something that needs to be adoptive children need to understand that they are not out to hurt the parents, and the parents
Mm-hmm.
need to understand that it is the children's desire, but sometimes it's only to see, what do I look like or something like that. Do I look like my parents? So it's a primal kind of desire, and I think one of my things that I would say is, adoptive parents, please do not see this as something against you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's important. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. Um, Rosie, I understand that you were able to find like your birth family. But how did you make it happen? Like, did your adoptive family support you along the whole process? I know you said that your father said that he would
Yeah.
help you, but how did that work out? Like that quest for finding them?
Well, it happened by accident. I know I actually wasn't looking, but I saw an advertisement on the television. I was with my father at the time, and I saw an advertisement on the television, and I was able to join this website for 2 weeks. Just join it for free, see how it is. So I thought, well, okay, I'm curious. And after my adopted mother had died, when she died, my father gave me a piece of paper that he had, a certificate, which had my name on it. And so I immediately went onto this website and I put my name in. And then I've had my first aha moment because I put my name in and there I was. Under this name,
Wow,
there I was. And I was in this birth register, and that was just strange. That was just weird. And from this point on, I then was able to get hold of my birth certificate and apply for it and get it. And then I was, and then I went back onto the website that I had started with, and I started to, my daughter would say, I started to stalk my mother. But, I just, I tried to find her, and I was able to trace her for a while, and then I lost track of her. And I had seen that I had another sister, so I tried to track her. And it was my sister that I actually then approached. And it was probably a good idea because she approached my mother very, very in a very kind way. So yeah.
Wow, wow. That is amazing. That is so amazing. Wow, this like back, years before, someone trying to find their adopted parents, like that system that you came across, that wasn't available then. Just the
No.
fact that this type of thing is available now,
Yeah.
for families that are trying to find their roots, that's so amazing. So I really love that. So, Rosie, what were some of the pivotal moments on your journey, that you can give us, to find your roots?
Okay, I'm sorry, you were breaking up a little bit. So I think you said, what are the tips I can give people who are trying to find their roots? Yeah.
Yeah, what
Okay.
are some of the pivotal moments that you had,
Yeah.
throughout
Yeah.
that journey to find your
Yeah.
roots?
Well, I think one of the pivotal moments was, of course, actually seeing, my name on this birth register, the name that I had had before. And so that made it all very, very real.
Wow.
And then following that up and tracing, my birth family. And I think the next pivotal moment was the fact that um, my sister said to me, yes, we knew about you.
Wow.
So that was like a real pivotal moment where I thought, okay, well, so if they know about me, maybe there's a real chance to actually get to know my birth mother. And of course, the next moment was actually meeting her for the first time.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. I love that. Just the fact that your sister said, yes, we knew about you. I know that you were feeling like your heart was warm at that time. So I
Yeah.
guess that's the feeling that you had. Yeah. That's amazing.
And the
Um,
fact that my sisters knew about me was extremely exciting because it meant that my mother had not kept it a secret that she had had a child, because of course it was before her time, their time, you know.
mhm.
So
Yes.
that was exciting. That meant that it was kind of open for her, to actually to meet me and maybe to accept me into the family.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, to me it means that she missed you and she loved you and she had hope that she was going to see you again, and um,
Absolutely.
that was her intention, and then it ended up happening. Yeah,
Yes.
that's powerful.
And of course,
So
she never thought it would happen. So
mhm. Wow.
yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So what made you write the book, Finding Closure?
Mm.
Um,
It wasn't intentional. It was a book that was never intended to be written.
okay.
It was a book that happened because, as I mentioned before, I was on this train for 4 hours and I kept thinking, I don't want to tell the story over and over and over and over again. So, and basically, for my children, my grandchildren, etc., I thought, okay, I'll write this book. Well, it happened in a slightly different way. I wrote the first chapters of the book and I gave it to a couple of people to read. And these people said to me, it's really good. I can't put it down. And
Wow.
so then I decided to ask a friend of mine who I'd been at school with, who is a professor at one of the British universities, and her subject is writing. And so I asked her if she would like to have a look at it. And she had a look at it and she read something like 90 pages in just the one evening. And then she said,
Wow.
but Rosie, if you want a bestseller, you need to do this and this and this. And then I thought, bestseller, you're joking. But it was a bestseller in 4 countries, in 4 categories. So she was right.
Wow.
And now, of course,
Wow.
I'm hoping that this
That's
book
amazing.
will,
That's
will help others who are not sure about how they can accept being adopted, or how they can even start on the journey, or even if they really want to go on that journey.
yes. Yes.
Mm.
Wow. Yeah, I love that you said, and even if they want to go on that journey, because some individuals just don't feel like they want to do it, but then there's others that it's just their heart's desires to move forward with that roots, to find out what their roots are. Yeah, that's powerful. Wow. So Rosie, this was amazing. The success that you've had on your journey, it just goes to show another area in life where you can be successful, finding your roots. Even if you're adopted, you still can have the life, that you want to have. You can have the life that you desire. You do have
Yes,
now tools and resources where you can find your roots,
yes,
and you can make a decision whether or not you want to even move forward to find your roots or
yes,
not. But you can definitely do research, and I highly recommend it you get Rosie's book, to help you if you or anyone that you know are on this type of journey to find your birth parents. Definitely, this is the book for you to get. So Rosie, if you could let everyone know what your free gift is for them today.
Mm-hmm. Well, as I said before, the actual book is called Finding Closure. And to go with this book, we have made a journaling book, a journaling workbook, for all of those people who are adoptive. And it can be looked at by somebody, by adoptive parents. And it lets you go through the process of finding out whether you really do want to, if you really do want to do this, to go down this journey or not. So what I'm giving away is this journal. And so yeah, that's what everybody
That's
can
amazing.
download. Yeah.
Yes, that's amazing. Yeah, that's an amazing gift. So thank you, Rosie, for that. And also too, you have an offer that to present to the audience as well. That's really really amazing.
Mm. Can I
What is
ask
that
you to
offer?
hang on for 1 second, because I think I don't think my cable's in properly. Hang on. Okay,
Sure,
now it is. I'm sorry about that. Maybe you can cut that bit out.
that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, so the program that we are developing right now is to get ready for your roots. And it is a program of which helps individuals to really understand the process, to understand what it means for everybody, and for them to be really sure when they go down that road and say, yes, I do want to find my birth parents, my biological parents. It might be just the mother, it might be both. For them to become totally clear on what the consequences might be, what they might achieve by doing it, and what, to look at where they feel there are deficits at the moment. So that is the program that we have. And as I say, the journal workbook actually helps to start that off.
Yes. Wow. Wow. That's amazing. That's a great program. Everything that you've put together, the resources that you personally put together to help others on this journey is absolutely amazing. The way that you're serving everyone. I just can't think of, anything. I just don't have the words for what you've done and your journey. And just the lady that you are today, it's just absolutely amazing. So thank you so much, Rosie, for coming on to the Life Success Summit. Thank you for showing us how successful that you can be, no matter what your situation is. If you are adopted, you still can have a successful life.
Absolutely.
And you still can go on that journey and have peace, So thank you so much. And we really appreciate you being here.
Thank you very much for having me today.